What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. Today we're going to be talking about a very, very interesting development that I discovered this weekend after playing Weekend League, all right? Now look, the most recent Madden patch for November has completely nerfed all offensive linemen. So I'm going to give you guys some insight into how it can save you millions of coins, training points, because remember, training is coins as well. A lot of you guys talking about how are you saving millions. Guys, have you tried to power up like Devin McCourty and things of that nature? Bro, that's 10,000 training points. You power up these NFL 100 players, it's ridiculous amounts of training points. Look, this is the situation, guys. EA makes it look like training is like an easy way to it doesn't really affect your MUT coin status. It's just training. Bruh, it's a lot of coins that you're investing in this game, and when abilities don't do what they're supposed to do, it kind of takes away from the experience. And that's what they've pretty much done with the whole situation of Nasty Streak. Now, granted, I understand it was OP with him out of position. He was just knocking guys down. But now that he's nerfed, even if you have him in the right position, he will get thrown down by corners. Okay, yesterday listen, this dude Joe Thomas, let me just give you insight into what happened. I'm gonna go ahead and break it down to you guys. I put him on the outside of a, what was the I wing, right? And I motioned him out like I usually do, and he has to block a corner because he's on the outside on the right side when you have the dual tight ends. So I put him in as tight end, right? And in this case, I tried Nasty Streak and I tried to run block elite. Both times he would go and engage with a corner. Sometimes he would, hold the block solidly. Sometimes they would just throw him to the ground like a ragdoll. Now, obviously, that does not make any sense at all because this is a big man, one of the best linemen ever, and he's just getting thrown down by corners. So pretty much what happened is this. You get penalized no matter what when the players are out of position now. They just didn't explain that. But I went through a lot of different games and I was able to see for myself exactly what was going on. And it was part of the labbing process to kind of see, because I dabbled with it. I went Nasty Streak one game. After Nasty Streak, I went Run Block Elite, and I was just trying it out. No difference. So he just engages with blocks better if he's in his natural position. That's pretty much what it is. So no matter what he has, no matter what abilities you think are going to work, it does not work. So I'm going to tell you right now, get rid of the abilities. Get your refunds, remove it. Just don't use abilities on old linemen. I'm telling you, as long as your old linemen are pretty good and you have them chemmed with the right factors, they will play the same way without the abilities. He will react differently than somebody that's lower rated as far as pass rush and sheds without all day. All of this doesn't make any sense. EA has patched it to make it so that people can, I guess, otherwise enjoy the game and it's not as glitchy, because we got to see a lot of people abusing it. So I understand, because I was one of those dudes, bruh. I was running around getting pancakes for days. Like, I would play a game and just immediately want to go to IHOP and order pancakes. Like, that's how, it was just crazy. So I understand why they had to do it, but my issue is he's still an offensive lineman. So he should still be able to to block a guy that's 200 pounds, 205 pounds, and he cannot anymore. So that's still an issue, but I understand the balance. You know what I'm saying? And something had to be done. So for most of you guys, I know that several of you guys had, all kinds of stuff on different linemen. Some of you guys had Nasty Streak on Travis Frederick and different things like that. When they do get out in front, very, very rarely did I see a pancake, okay? So you can play around with it if you want, but you just have to understand, I think what they did was made it so that all of the players don't really have, that major ability to put players on the ground, except for the fullbacks. Now, you might say to yourself, what am I talking about? What do I mean? Why are the fullbacks all of a sudden doing it? Kyle Juszczyk, whenever he engages with a block, he usually takes people's legs out. Now, he has a 95 lead block chemmed. I don't know if that has something to do with it, but he's taking these players out. DNs, corners, safeties, whoever's coming in. When he engages with a block, he takes them out with the run plays. Christian Okoye, not so much. I don't know what he's doing most of the time. I think I'm about to rage sell him, but I haven't really decided yet. But this is something that I wanted to point out. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a 95 lead block, because obviously you can see that the run block and the impact block on Juszczyk is very, very low when compared to Okoye. But all throughout, when I started putting him into my weekend league games, he was taking dudes' legs out. If you guys have him on your 49ers team, or you just have him in general, I guarantee you guys are saying the same thing in the comments. And I can't explain it. I don't know why it's happening. Maybe they juiced it up because he never used to do this. He never used to take dudes' legs out. I don't know. Maybe they gave all the power to the fullback now. I can't really decide. But what I can tell you guys is that if you're wasting time with your old lineman, you're costing yourself money, you're costing yourself coins, and I'm just making sure that everybody knows, get rid of them now. Next thing now, what do we do next? You'll see over here on the right side that I only have two X Factors, my superstar abilities equipped. I don't even have a third right now, okay? Why don't I have a third? Because I tried Randy Moss last night again. I brought back Streak Specialist. I gave him double me instead of Moss because Moss is pretty much stupid because you need 55 yards, and if you don't, you got to run backwards. It's just really stupid, so I don't even use Moss because 50 yards was fine. The 55 kind of, it really ruins it for like the whole thing because it's very, very hard to get him to that thing. Even if you got him on like Homer with the less of the objectives or whatever, it's still very, very hard to do it. And then, like I said, you got to run backwards. Not only that, most of the time when people see that he's activated, they're sending the house every play. So it's very, very hard for him to get that deep anyway. And that's what you should do. Just blitz everybody. Because as long as the pass is not 55 yards, it's nothing they can do. But anyway, I tried Streak Specialist on him again. I tried like the grab and go. I tried a lot of different things. It's useless on the wide receivers. Even like the out route specialist on Torrey Holt. Like he still gets open on those routes or whatever, but it's not the same thing. Pretty much what's happening is there's a lot of nerfing going on. It's a whole lot of nerfing going on. Like, bruh, it's crazy. The way that these abilities and stuff like that, they just don't work the way they're supposed to. So look, this is what we have to do, right? We got to be smarter, and we have to be able to understand that whatever you like for instance, when Saquon Barkley was jumping like a Super Mario brother, right? They nerfed that immediately, and then they made him fumble more, and then you can't jump over anybody. So look, this is what happens. Anything that's fun in the game that makes us laugh, it's gonna get nerfed. Like, you see like how we were all laughing about doing the nasty streak, and it was hilarious to us? It's gonna get nerfed. Barry Sanders, he starts off enraged, bro, like ready to go with first one free. Eric Dickerson, first one free. These guys start off like that. These are things that are going to change the game, okay? So whether or not EA decides to patch that, I don't know, but I would tell you, the best thing for you to do is try to get your wins now with these players, because not everyone, but a lot of people are complaining about the fact that they start off already with their X Factor. Eric Dickerson, I played against him all weekend league. I will say he's a glitch. He's wild, but Barry Sanders is good just because you can visibly see that once he gets out in front, he's gone. Eric Dickerson, you can't tackle him, bruh. I don't care if he got the X Factor on or not. So it don't really matter with everybody complaining about it, because the dude still runs right through everybody anyway. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. I know you guys played against him. Just write ED in the comments. Everybody's played against that guy. That guy, I had a dream that he was trucking me last night. The dude is out of control. But listen though, that's what you should invest in right now. So low key, a lot of you guys were asking, Gmias, should I get rid of Joe Thomas? I'm not going to get rid of my Joe Thomas. I just showed you his numbers. He's the best old lineman in the game right now. We still have the NFL 100 going on and all the other stuff, but I wouldn't get rid of him right now, okay? Would it make sense to get rid of him and then go after Eric Dickerson and then maybe go back and buy Joe Thomas? You know, because we're trying to figure out the best way to do it without, spending any money or buying more bundles. You could do that. Because a lot of you guys still have Joe Thomas and you hate him now because he can't do anything for you. And it's like, yo, bro, what is this? But he is the best left tackle in the game, in my opinion. And if you downgrade, you might not see the same type of impact on the field. Because what happens is, the O-line being good, they still play well. They're just not boosted anymore. You understand? Like, their abilities don't mean anything unless you have identifier. That's the only one that works. Other than that, there are no boosts after the most recent title update. And I tried it several different times with different abilities and doing all kinds of madness. It does not have any influence on the game. Also, I will point this out. EA probably didn't tell us in the notes, but if you put a tight end at wide receiver, it's still not the same thing. They'll still let them shed. They'll still come in and hit you in the backfield. It's all different now. Because they just said, you know what? Dudes are doing too much out of position stuff. Remember, for those of you guys that play salary cap or, competitive or whatever, they're trying to stop you from putting wide receivers at halfback. So that's probably, they're going to be a penalty for that too. If you touch him, he might fumble immediately. They're going to do things to change up. They don't like the out of position situation. So those major things have a lot of impact with what's going on. So you need to take the abilities off, save the training, okay? Save your training now, cut your losses, get your 90%. Stop going into games thinking that it's working. It's stupid. They've nerfed it completely. It's done. This is the objective though. The run game is still like OP, but again, we're gonna have to stop passing the ball now. The issue is everybody that we play, they come out in cover 3 backed off with a SpongeBob G-string on. And it's very, very difficult to deal with it because they've already tuned the game like a gazillion times. So what happens is when they're backed off like that, their reaction, if the corners are good, they come down immediately to make a tackle. It is instant. Like they're right there like, yo, what's good? Everybody good here? They're right in there. So those type of things, that's going to influence the way that people pass and the way that you decide if you're just going to run the whole game. But like I said, the run game is not as potent without that nasty streak, but you can still run the ball a lot by having different situations going on with the way that your players play. Like for instance, right, with this right here, with the outside zone guru, this actually works a little something with the O-line without giving them an ability, okay? Because I noticed when I had this on versus when I had it off that they block differently. Now look how crazy that is, that it works off of a running back, but not off the actual lineman. But this is something that a lot of you guys are going to realize. This actually works. At this point, I don't know if they're going to tune it and not tell us. I don't know what's going to go on. But you would see on your outside runs, if you leave everybody in their natural positions, your tight end at tight end, your left tackle at left tackle, wide receiver at wide receiver, you'll see them block a lot better. Let me point out that if you run an aggressive, they don't call it as often, but they will call it usually when you're getting a first down. They did it to me all weekend. I tried it like twice, and it was always holding. Because they already block OP with this ability on. So with the other nasty streak and all that costing all that training points, take that off. If you have a Barry Sanders or Eric Dickerson or anybody that can get the outside zone guru, you're going to want to go after that. All right? Now, finally, let's go ahead and we're going to jump into, I'm going to get a pack from the store and everything. Hopefully you guys have been, doing what you're supposed to do, getting your solos done and everything. 40,000 for that? Nah, that's too rich for me, bruh. Yeah, I'm dead broke right now. Like I can't be playing around like that. Y'all dudes be playing, bruh. Y'all be like, yo, okay. A 78. All right, it looked like it was gonna be something good with all the graphic, but obviously it was trash. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Joe Thomas's price is. Now we have the Series Redux version, so more than likely he's not gonna be as good, but he's still, if you wanted to, it's just very, very tough for me to tell you because you might think that you're cutting your losses, but you're actually not. You're actually creating a situation where you're going to pay for it some way, somehow, because the market is actually really, really bad right now, and you could do a lot of different things. But I just want to make sure that everybody understands this is something that, right now, his price went back up. He dropped to like 500. He was at like 5 whatever, but everybody started to realize, you know what? What if we don't play him out of position? He plays like Joe Thomas when you don't play him out of position, which is why I don't want to get rid of him. Now, his price will remain around these rates, and people are going to buy him because he's the best left tackle in the game by far. I don't care about Munoz. I don't care who you put there. He's the best. Okay, so if you wanted to go ahead right now and trade him for one of the NFL 100 players, I would consider that a mistake. But that's up to you. Some of you guys have already done it. I told you guys that I would talk to you about it. This is what I'm telling you. It would be a mistake because you will immediately notice the difference on the left side of your offensive line without him being there. I can promise you that. Because when I was putting him out of position and putting Staley there, I immediately noticed the difference. Okay, especially with the fact that he wasn't able to pancake everybody. It's a really, really wild thing. So you don't want to get yourself in that situation to begin with, all right? Now, let's go ahead. I'm going to point out some more stuff to you guys to kind of give you guys more insight into what's going on. When you go over to the program of NFL 100, all right, and you want to swap in, you want to do different, players, whatever, remember, there are more players that are coming, okay? You don't want to go crazy and spend a lot on these cards. Like Emmitt Smith, some of you guys like him. I think he's garbage, but that's fine. You know what I'm saying? This dude, Barry Sanders, is down to 617. So this guy's down to 644. The prices will continue to come down, okay? You don't have to rush into doing all of this because either way, whatever happens, things are going to get nerfed, okay? But at this point, the running game is still superior to everything else that goes on within the game. It is still absolutely superior. So with that being said, there's not much more that you need to do, all right? Other than take all of your abilities off of your O-line, and we're going to figure out where we'll put the other one. But again, the receivers, it really doesn't matter if you have Hot Route Master. If you have Hot Route Master in your quarterback, you don't need to do anything with the receivers. They're going to play the same way. Streak specialists don't work. None of that other stuff. They're not doing anything too special. All that stuff has been nerfed. The out route specialists, the corners play it way better now. They react. You just need Hot Route specialists to be able to change everything that your receivers do. So what I would suggest right now, going forward, I would suggest that you get 2 running backs. I'm probably going to get abilities, whatever, on these guys. I would put abilities on them, okay? And then from there, that's it. We're done. You know what I'm saying? Because like Saquon is useless at this point. With everything that's going on, he's absolutely useless. So you're going to have to be very, very careful with how you do everything that you do. Because with the speed that Eric Dickerson has and that Barry Sanders have, it's next level. But you're going to still need to throw the ball sometimes, and you may need to get yourself a post route, a corner route, a crosser. Hot Route Master is still key. And that's pretty much what I want you guys to understand. Get yourself a field general with Hot Route Master, 2 running backs with abilities, and just get the fastest wide receivers. And then as soon as dudes start to think it's sweet, they want to press, they want to do all kinds of weird stuff, hello, you send Randy Moss, you send Tyreek Hill, and you do what you have to do without spending additional money or losing training on, these abilities that just don't work anymore. If you have any other insight, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to tune in and subscribe for more videos coming very soon. Thank you guys so much. Stay blessed. Until next time. One love.